What's going on, world? We are Sports Moods. 2 moodies, 1 duty. Sports. Let's go. From C Moody. With me, I got my man
D Moody.
That's right. We are brothers by balls. So, I had to joke about that. No, we're related by sports, man. Even though we're both Moody's, we are not related. We are both from Marion, South Carolina. I guess tell them a little bit how we met.
Well, actually, we went to school together.
Shout out to Marion High School.
Yeah, Swamp Foxes. So we actually played on a tennis team. So 2 black guys played tennis in high school.
That's
so,
right.
Hey, we did. And tennis is a real sport. I want y'all to know that.
Yes.
So, it may look easy on TV, but it's much harder than what it looks.
Yes, it is.
One of my favorite memories of Mr. C. Moody over here, we played a doubles match in high school. And I'm setting up to serve the tennis ball. And he's standing at the net to play the point. And when I served the ball, I hit him right in his back with the serve.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest things I ever remember of him. One of my favorite memories of him. He looked back at me. He was just like, he shook his head.
Because we're supposed to be confident. I shouldn't have to worry about him hitting me serving the ball. Even though, I mean, technically, maybe I should be because it's kind of in the line of the serve. But, yeah, that was hilarious. My favorite memory, though, I think we won. Because even though we were playing varsity tennis, we were definitely out of our league.
Yeah, we were not that great.
Like, it was really bad. And me and Derek at the time possibly was like the 1 and 2 on our team. So we were like the best Marion had.
The best of the worst.
Yeah. So I think we won like 1 game. And for the rest of that day, we just kept saying champions.
Because we finally got
our team lost as a whole, but because we won, I think for the rest of that year, for the rest of our school year, actually, every time we saw each other, we would just be like, champions. So that is the best thing, man. So that's why we're brothers.
So we're going to go ahead and try to go ahead and get into, some of the sports things we're going to cover. First off, we're going to hit the McGregor-Mayweather fight. Then we're going to follow up with some WWE action for those wrestling fans out there.
Shout out.
Raw Smackdown Live. Then we're going to hit the Kyrie trade. That's one of the biggest things going on right now, the offseason in the NBA. And then we're going to round it off with the NFL preseason and our Super Bowl picks.
That's right, man. But this McGregor and Mayweather fight, I'm going to be honest, I've seen on my Facebook feed, pretty much everybody made this a race thing. All the black people on my page wanted Mayweather to win. I seen some white people too, but most of the white people I saw wanted McGregor to win. And I'm going to be honest with you. I actually wanted McGregor to win. Now, I mean, I was kind of going with the underdog card because, let's face it, everybody kind of knew that Mayweather was going to get that win. But I was like, and then I saw, what really got me, I saw a Facebook video when they were like recording some of McGregor's training. And everybody was laughing. Like they made a whole bunch of memes of people laughing at what he was doing. And in my mind, I immediately was like, I want him to kill him now. Like, that was my only thought, man. But who did you want to win?
Well, I was kind of torn because, when you see somebody win so much, and Mayweather, like I'm a big Mayweather fan. I mean, he, 49-0, that's like amazing. But my thing was, I kind of was like you with the underdog part of it. Yeah. Just to kind of see if McGregor could pull the upset, just to kind of see how everybody was going to react to that, by him kind of being out of his element and coming into the boxing ring with Mayweather, where he dominates. So, at the end of the day, like you said, everybody knew Mayweather was going to win, definitely. But I guess everybody just thought if an upset could happen, McGregor would be the one to do it. But
yeah. And also, I mean, now personally speaking, I don't feel like whatever this record was should have really counted because you are fighting a UFC fighter, and watching the ending of it, seeing how they pretty much just stopped it off a TKO. Like, McGregor was clearly tired, and I mean, like you said, it goes to him being out of his element with the fact that on UFC they don't fight as long as boxing people. So
I think it's like 3 rounds or something like that, right?
Like 3 to 5 and 5-minute rounds, and you're going from that to at the most 25 minutes to an hour-long fight if you fight the whole way through. And he made it to round 10, I think.
Yeah.
So I mean, definitely. I mean, he was clearly tired. I mean, you could see that. So I mean,
but that's what most people do when they fight Floyd, because he's like one of the most elusive fighters you ever want to step in the ring with. So you got to have some kind of strategy going in there. And what was different to me about this fight was McGregor got off to a strong start. He was like surprising a couple people. Like those first 3-4 rounds, everybody was like, "Oh, maybe this is gonna be." Yeah. But how long can you keep that going? Because a lot of people felt like, hey, the longer the fight goes, the more that favors Mayweather.
Yeah, boxing definitely is in a battle of endurance.
Yes.
And like you said, McGregor, he hit a lot of punches on Mayweather. I mean. And considering how much people praise Mayweather on being a technical defender, how well his stance is to avoid punches, to say that he got as many punches as he did, that's you gotta like give McGregor some credit on that.
And he was, he had to kind of change up how he did some stuff too. Mayweather did, because I guess he wasn't expecting what he got from McGregor, but it was some stuff that McGregor, you could tell, like his mindset was still kind of in that UFC mindset, because some of those like punches he was doing, I was like, the ref had to constantly tell him like, you can't do that. So I give him big props, man, because I mean, to be able to change your whole mindset of coming from a combat environment to a boxing environment, and getting through that, they make it 10 rounds. I mean, that was pretty good, but we knew at the end he got tired, so he was done.
Yeah. It couldn't have been me, because if it was me, especially playing UFC for so long, a couple of punches in my face, I'm gonna want to try to slam you on the ground. So,
but Mayweather's already rich and McGregor's richer,
exactly.
So I mean at that point, I probably would take a TKO too to get that size.
Right? Why not, man? Why not? And I did see a video afterwards of McGregor kind of praising Mayweather on the fight. So I mean, at least considering how arrogant both of these people were.
Start.
And, a lot of people bash McGregor because he kind of made some slurs that can easily be considered racist. I mean, I think they say he called him a monkey. Dance for me, boy, definitely made me think, all right, white guy, don't do that. But, I mean, these are two really arrogant, boisterous people. So, of course, they were going to try to jab, cut deep with each other verbally. So, either way, they showed respect to each other at the end. So, big ups to both people.
So one last question on before we, switch it up. I mean, do you think people got their money's worth out of this? I mean, for those who didn't try to stream it on the Fire Stick or catch it at somebody else's house.
Yeah. Or share it on Facebook. Which,
too.
I did see some of it, I must admit. But honestly, I think so. I mean, considering the hype about it and considering that it lasted 10 rounds. So literally you only missed 10 more minutes if they were to go 2 more rounds. Mm-hmm. Now, I think you got your money's worth. And I will say this, considering that, like I said, it went 10 rounds, it might have been a closer comparison on, down the numbers if they would have had to go by judge's decision, just considering how much punches that McGregor, he kind of landed. I think it might have been closer than people are making it, because now, just by winning, everybody was like, man, you knew it wasn't going to be this way. You already knew you were out of your league. I think if it went down the wire, went down to the judges' call, it might have had at least 1 or 2 judges giving it towards McGregor just off of his punches and whatever.
But I was, hearing from some sports outlets, they were saying hey, McGregor was pulling punches, he was kind of holding back a little bit. So I don't know if people were trying to hit that it was kind of staged or whatever. A lot of people didn't agree with the fact that it got stopped when it did.
Yeah.
I agree with that it got stopped because at that point, McGregor couldn't even hold his stance up. I mean, Mayweather was actually going in at him. So at that point, I feel like if he didn't pretty much get knocked out, physically, it was bound to happen.
Which I saw a quote on the internet too, is McGregor was like, "Don't stop it just because I'm tired. Let me go down. Like if I'm gonna go down, let me go down." But I mean, like they say, he's Irish, so of course he wants to fight until the end. He doesn't want a ref to get in the way. But like you said, he was clearly tired. So, but yeah, I agree with you on that one.
But I think overall it was a good fight, and Mayweather says it's his last one, so I guess that's something that we'll have to see in the future if he's gonna
ride his horse off into the end, right there, 50-0. Right? If we're going to count the last one, which I still don't feel like they should count it.
Yeah, because he did. I mean, and then the whole thing a couple years ago at Pacquiao, a lot of people felt like that fight was 5 years too late.
Yeah,
but I mean that's a story for another day. But I mean he's 49-0. I mean, like Bill Parcells always says, man, you are what your record says you are.
Yeah.
But I mean,
nobody can argue.
Do I count the 50? Probably not. I would say 49-0. But I mean, either way, he's undefeated.
Yeah,
so
I was about to count it
him
or not. He doesn't have a 0 on his column, so
yeah.
So do you think this should hurt McGregor's UFC because of this boxing loss?
I don't really think, because it's two different worlds. I really don't think. Because if Mayweather steps in that cage, we already know Mayweather is done for. So
I wouldn't want to see that.
I don't think that it brings his stock down. I mean, Conor McGregor, I mean, we do know that, he did get beat in UFC, but I mean, I still regard him as one of the top, cage fighters out there. But I don't think that'll bring his stock down because it's two different worlds. So I think he's still among the top of everybody else.
Yeah, you can hear this from me. You put Mayweather in a cage, he's out the first round.
I don't think he makes the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, because once he can really put his hands on them, wrapped up and all this, not the padded gloves and just hands and knees. Oh yeah, Mayweather, he's gonna be in a fetal position at the end of it. Sorry about that, Mayweather, but
yeah, Mayweather can do a lot of things, but I don't think he can do that.
Nah. So next we're getting into, with just a few minutes left, we're going to get into this WWE. I think we're just going to shoot Monday Night Raw. Then we're going to hit up part 2 with SmackDown as we finish the rest of our podcast. But Monday Night Raw, it started off with this Battle Royal. You caught it, the Intercontinental Championship. And Jeff Hardy pulls it out. Now, I didn't see that coming. I'm going to be personally honest with you. And that's pretty much due to the fact that I watched some extra backstage stuff on YouTube. I'm gonna be a plug right now. If anybody's on YouTube and like to watch wrestling reports and stuff, watch Wrestle Talk TV. I think that's the whole name on YouTube. They're hilarious people. I think their names Ollie Davis and Luke Owens. I watch them religiously almost. They give you pretty much information from top people, Dave Meltzer and all these other people, so I don't have to do it. I can just joyfully listen to them as they, give their feedback and all that. So they're hilarious. But how did you feel about the Battle Royal?
I mean, it caught me off guard, but at the end of the day, it kind of didn't, because the WWE's been kind of doing a thing here lately where they've been kind of splitting up all the tag teams.
Yeah.
And when Jeff Hardy won, it was like, okay, because we do remember Matt and Jeff being singles competitors. So it's it didn't really surprise me. And I guess they wanted a fresh opponent for The Miz. What really threw me for a loop in this Battle Royal, I really thought Finn Balor was going to win it.
Yeah.
But Bray Wyatt comes in. I thought that feud was over with at SummerSlam because the Demon King came back, and I thought that was the end of it. And I thought maybe Finn Balor would be really a good opponent for The Miz, but with that whole Bray Wyatt thing threw me off. And then when Jeff Hardy won it, so I'm like, okay, so what does this mean for the Hardy Boys in the tag team division now?
Okay, now I want to ask you this last question while we're in the last minute. With Bray Wyatt coming in to interrupt and eliminate Finn Balor, what left can you have between this feud? Because, I mean, Bray Wyatt already pushed him to bring out the Demon King, so what's left? So
that makes him look like the whole thing at SummerSlam was pointless because, I mean, the Demon, does he have to reassert the Demon King again?
Right.
So, I mean, it was just like WWE kind of left you wondering, what's going on here.
So now, like I said, we're at our last 30 seconds of Sports Moods Part 1. This is our very first one and hopefully not the last one. We're about to get out of here and start the second part, Part 2. Once again, this is Sports Moods. 2 Moodies, 1 Duty. sports. And we'll be right back.
You want to comment?